Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Monday, February 23rd, 2015. Here in the Lynn-Body-Mind we have me, Pan. We also have Sam, Luce, and Paul, the attorney, the counselor. In the Jamie Body-Mind we have Glenn, the commander, Asha, and Perry, the doctor. We're going to have an intention, as always, to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to trigger the awakening right now. But I myself would like to have a conversation with the large being who shared space with us in our focus group a few days ago. So we'll see. That'll either happen or it won't, because we're here to do what's ours to do in all dimensions. So with that, it begins.
I can feel that big being right up there. See him like he's sitting behind a desk.
I see.
Hello.
Hello. I have some questions. I'm Pan. Pan, guardian of the nature realms. Here's my ID.
Hello, I'm Glenn.
I think you know Luce. Luce, Angel of Destiny. His name is really long, but that part everybody knows. Luce, Angel of Destiny.
This is Asha, you've met.
This is Sam. And Paul, our
Perry,
counselor.
the doctor. Hello.
We have been talking since our focus group a couple of days ago that you sat in on.
It's true.
Perhaps you called that focus group. It's possible. We didn't call it. Someone called it. Someone from above called it. If I were a betting person, game theory would say you are the one who called it because you were in the meeting.
Yes, that's true.
And in that meeting, one of the things that was pointed out to us, which we all agree with, is that this work has a combination of work for the greater good and personal growth work.
Yes, it's true.
I've been really working on my personal growth area.
That's true. I can bear witness to that.
I have some rage issues. As guardian of the nature realms, I have watched the nature realms throughout the dimensions do their part over and over again.
It's true.
Being good neighbors, feeding life force to the other dimensions.
That's true.
And to be treated very poorly in return, to be lied to and treated as if we are God's personal plaything.
Yes, that's true.
And as a result, I find that sometimes I fall into a state of passive despair where it feels to me like things are hopeless and why bother? And
that's true.
That's not a helpful state to be in. And so I have been advised to get out of this state of passive despair. And I find when I do so, I become enraged. Really enraged. Because I watch what seems to be malfeasance on the part of the, quote, gods, unquote. And I don't even know what to make of that. For example, let's take our good friend Asha, who has a prayer, a pure child prayer request. Pure child prayers, as you know, are supposed to be answered immediately, but same day is the standard. It's like a phone call in the business world.
Yes, that's true.
You return phone calls before you go home at night. You answer the prayer of a pure child before you go home that night.
That's true. It's in the rules.
It's in the rules, and those rules have been established
eons.
They were established perhaps before creation. That rule has been in effect for the length of creation.
That's possible.
Asha met the standards of 7 different labs, not
That's
only
true.
the single lab standard that's required, and she met them with that little mark that means well exceeds the standards.
It's true.
Depending on how you count it. In Planet Earth dating, that's over, I believe, 9 weeks ago. If you look at Perry's lifetime, or let's look at Paul's lifetime,
Yeah.
because Paul has been Asha's counselor, Asha's attorney.
It's true.
When they've been filing lawsuits for specific performance,
That's true.
specific performance on that particular prayer request.
Yes.
And Paul estimates it's been about, well, he knows exactly. He says roughly 35 years, but I'm rounding off, that he's been working on that. And through expansion of space-time, we know space-time is collapsible and expandable. So different ways of measuring time yield different results.
Yes, that's true.
Over 9 weeks in planet Earth dating, 35 years approximately, if we look at the life of Paul, how old he is now, his body, his non-physical body, which is the only kind of body he has.
That's true.
Other than this shared body, which we're all living in as a house, as a commune. It's aged 35 years, working on that lawsuit, that prayer request, looking for specific performance, answer the prayer.
Yes.
Or if you look at the carbon dating of the prayer request forms themselves, which are now eating through the third art history backing.
That's true.
It's millennia old. It's many millions of years old.
That's true.
Still unanswered by any of those means of measurement. This is unacceptable. It is not performance on God's unquote, quote unquote, part.
That's true.
So, here I sit. I look at Asha. She is as good a person as I have ever met. She lives to the standards that have been set by Source as what we should all aim for. She's willing. She has a spotless record. She's the one who never says no.
That's true.
She's courageous beyond anybody I've ever seen.
That's true.
She has integrity to higher standards than anyone I've
on
ever
any
seen.
dimension we've been through.
And we've been through, as you know, millions upon millions upon millions, if not billions, of people in the physical and non-physical into the future, into the past. She tops the pile when it comes to integrity every single time.
We've been through Source.
We've been through Source. We've been through all that is. Not to mention many fine people such as yourself who claim to help.
That's true.
And do nothing.
That's true.
She meets the standards of humility, trust, selflessness. She's processed the entire all that is twice through her own energy body. Twice.
That's true.
And stability in those choices. She consistently makes those choices. And
That's
so
true.
I watch Asha's prayer go unanswered, and I think there's no chance that my prayers are going to be answered if Asha's prayer isn't answered, because I haven't lived like that.
No, me neither.
I haven't lived like that.
We have not found anyone who has.
I haven't found anyone who has, and that infuriates me, actually.
That's
that
true.
You're not answering Asha's prayer. And so perhaps it simply wasn't expressed clearly by any other means of communication. It's possible.
That's possible.
So I'm just to dot my I and cross my T. I am right now face to face presenting you with Asha's prayer request. Take it down. Take it down now. And I'm saying my prayer is answer Asha's prayer.
My prayer is answer Asha's prayer.
And the pips behind me, Sam, Luce, and Paul are all saying, answer Asha's prayer.
Perry,
my prayer,
answer Asha's prayer.
We'll count to 3 so that you have plenty of time. Yeah, he's moving to call security and have us removed. So I'm live streaming this up because you two just revealed yourself as fakers. Check me on that. Is he calling? He's calling security to have us removed. So I want to say something else, and that's this. 2 nights ago, I watched Luce rise to the challenge that you gave us in the focus group. You said, reach truth to truth until you can reach to me. And I watched Luce do this little telescoping maneuver where he pulls the dimensions together, grabs hold of the ends, and then stretches up. And he reached you in 30 seconds. He went boom, boom, and he was there.
That's true.
Bing! He sent up his prayer request. No response. I myself, I do it a little bit differently. I grow like a vining thing because I'm nature realms.
That's true.
Boom! I sent up my prayer request. Hand-delivered it personally through my vine.
That's true.
Just as Luce hand-delivered his personally, and I am hand-delivering it personally in another way.
Yeah.
You are not answering our prayers. It doesn't seem like you have good intentions.
No. This doesn't fit the bill of loving God.
No, you're not a loving God. So, now we live stream this up. You see, we're speaking past you, that this dimension is also fatally flawed. with some combination of selfishness or ego or lack of trust or laziness or
lack of integrity
or cowardice, or some personal toxic brew of that.
That's
and this
true.
person who was purporting to be a loving presence and saying, just get past all those other aspects of your own higher soul till you get to me, didn't think that it would happen in less than 24 hours. Underestimated certain aspects of our group here.
That's true.
And then, yesterday, when Paul filed the lawsuit on behalf of Luce, who also far exceeds the standards of a pure child and has been abused more than anybody except perhaps Asha.
Here are the records.
Here's the lawsuit. Upon filing that lawsuit, there was a huge incoming attack into our little community yesterday. Kaboom. Paul, almost fatally wounded.
That's true.
Luce, seriously wounded.
That's
All
true.
the rest of us, not helped by the occurrence, let's put it that way.
Not in better shape.
Not in better shape as a result of it. Have you heard of the Serenity Prayer? Do they talk about that up here? They should, because it's a platitude just like everything else you've been handing us.
Yes, he seems to be familiar.
Yes. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So here I am, my friend, struggling between passive despair and rage. Help me here. Give me some wisdom, words of wisdom. I can't hear anything. Do you?
No, I can't hear anything either.
I see him though. He's just almost twiddling his thumbs.
He looks like he's waiting.
Waiting for security is my
That's
bet.
probably what it is. That's probably what it is.
So we're just locking the doors right now. We have certain skills.
We can bar the doors.
We're barring the doors right now. You know what? Boom.
We're not here to hurt you.
No, we're not. But we're going to talk this through to the end.
Now's the time.
Now's the time. You have an opportunity to grant Asha's prayer request. Now, it's possible you don't have the ability to do it. We've come across this in many of the dimensions where things are malfunctional.
It's true.
But for you to not try shows a poor attitude.
Yes.
And so we know that desks of this make and model have a takedown button inside of them.
That's true.
And so we also know that you're pressing the security button with your knee, but friend, you don't seem to understand that nobody's getting into this room right now.
We're past that point.
We're done with all those games. Enough. At least make the attempt to answer Asha's prayer. In case you've forgotten, here it is. We'll present it to you again. Take it down now.
Take it down. Take it down. It's broken.
So my story is he's pressing a button that doesn't work, and now he's crying, kind of pathetically. Yes, it's very sad.
Yes, it's very sad.
However, is that really your best effort? We've been working at this, depending on how you count it, for our lifetimes or millennia or many millions of years.
And frankly, Pan, I have a suspicion that those are crocodile tears.
Even if they're real, they don't do it. Specific performance is what counts.
That's true.
So I'm going to put you in amber, like many people have done to many of my friends.
That's
now
nice.
we'll have a paperweight. Fair is fair.
That's very nice.
It's a lovely paperweight. I'm going to begin a new paperweight collection. Do you remember Asha's paperweights?
Yes.
Of the times her heart had been broken by following Spirit's instructions?
Yes.
I'm going to start a paperweight collection of all the fakers who we come across.
Yes.
How may we be of service
How may we be
right
of
now
service right now?
to trigger the awakening?
Trigger
right
the
now?
awakening right now.
Let's just start burning things.
I think that's...
Burn ourselves too. We're not
Me
saying burn
too,
those
on
bad
behalf of the
people
all
over
that
there.
is.
Burn it all.
Burn
What's
it
real
all.
won't burn.
Burn it all.
I see a huge bonfire.
It's true.
We can set a bunch of dimensions ablaze. We're like a big Roman candle.
It's true.
Not sure what a Roman candle is. That's worth
It's
Googling.
a firework. It makes a really loud, screechy sound.
Ah. I think Perry is saying this actually explains a lot.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
He feels relieved.
What does it explain, Perry?
I mean, it seems to explain how shit doesn't get done.
Yeah, why things don't work is how...
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Why things don't work.
Why things don't work. And he's laughing.
Well, that's a better attitude than most of us here have right now.
He's laughing really hard.
Perry, help us understand. Help us find the humor in this.
Well, he's saying, he's spent so much of his life frustrated about why things weren't working. Frustrated about why things weren't working and blaming the things that weren't working.
Right. Or blaming ourselves.
Right.
That's where that passive despair comes from. We think,
Right.
I just am good for nothing.
Right, I'm good for nothing, and this car is good for nothing, and this light bulb is good for nothing, and everything is broken. And now he's laughing.
We're simply part of a larger organism. So, as always, the challenge is now to climb out the top of the head of whatever organism we're in. We've climbed out the head of the top. We've climbed out the head of source. We've climbed out the head of a drunk. We've climbed out the head of a sea anemone. So to climb out the head of whatever it is and discover what's next. Because we are simply subatomic particles of subatomic particles of subatomic particles
That's
inside
true.
of some being that's sick and suffering, and therefore nothing is working.
It's true.
And it could be anything. I have the sense of coming out the top of something, but I can't yet tell what it is.
Me too.
Luce is pointing to signposts. It looks like we're on some road.
It's true.
And go into... it looks like a caricature of a big city. It's like here's the planet, and then here are all the skyscrapers at funny angles.
It's
like you see on placemats in tourist destinations.
That's true.
That's an interesting metaphor.
That is an interesting metaphor.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Next level.
Onward.
So what do I know about placemats in tourist destinations?
Yes.
They're cheap paper. They have kitschy sayings and kitschy pictures
It's true.
printed on them. They're nothing of value or integrity.
No.
It doesn't bode well.
No, it does not.
But I could be wrong.
Could be wrong.
I'm live streaming this thinking up to as close to the center of the bullseye as I can get right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're in another dimension full of fakery.
I would be willing to bet that.
I would put a fair amount of chips on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. You know what? We aren't going to stop. We're all
we're all in agreement.
by these ironclad soul contracts, as are millions upon millions of other non-physical beings. They
true.
are suppressing that awareness or
That's
in
true.
denial of it. But it doesn't make it go away.
No.
We're moving forward. The law of cause and effect is real.
That's true.
And at some point in time, this will work.
That's true.
We know it will, and we know that when that occurs, we're going to have an outcome that is much more pleasing to us than it would be if we didn't live to our soul plan.
That's true.
I'd like to just pause and remember that for a moment right now.